I am outside Greg Thorpe's home, and I have a Minky Couture blanket for him. He is the recipient of this month's Warm the Heart page in the Besst Yet magazine. If you don't have a Minky Couture, they are the best. Check out their website at minkycouture.com. We'd like to thank Minky Couture for being a sponsor of the Warms the Heart page in the Besst Yet magazine. If you know someone in the community who has gone above and beyond or just has a sweet story to tell, email us at thebestjet@gmail.com. Those who are selected will get a Minky, and those who nominate. Greg, thank you so much for letting us come into your home and to give you this Minky blanket. And thank you so much for all the wonderful things that you're doing for cancer patients. Tell us about Just a Break.
Yeah, for sure. So Just a Break, just a little of the background. Actually, before it became an official nonprofit, it was more just a project. Jen and I call it the cloud of cancer. I don't know if anyone's used that before, but just the emotional and financial cloud, especially with something towards a terminal diagnosis or an advanced stage cancer. That cloud just kind of hangs around you, and Jen was able to get rid of that cloud pretty quick before I could, and then she was asked by nurses every time we went to get treatments if she could visit with other patients and families and kind of infuse them with hope before they were infused with their chemo or radiation, whatever their treatments were, and so she quickly just wanted to do something for them, and so would send me first to buy packages for just little things like for their side effects of chemo and that, and then when she started finding some out-of-town families and realizing that they had driven through a snowstorm to get treatment, then would have to drive back through a snowstorm to get home, then she started sending me to get hotel certificates and restaurant certificates and things like that, and so that's kind of, we did that for about a year, just on and off anonymously. She would never let me deliver them to the patients. It was always to a nurse or a social worker, and then she would ask to have them wait a couple weeks and then to present that to them anonymously, just so they could have an evening away or just a break to kind of move that cloud of cancer off them for a little bit.
And you like to include nice things.
Yeah,
Movies,
yeah.
right? Not
So,
like a trip to McDonald's or...
no, and we're not opposed to that, but like a lot of people gave us gift certificates, and they're super handy for like Arby's and McDonald's and fast food stuff, but the idea really is like an Olive Garden or something a little nicer. One of my favorites is the Roof in Salt Lake. Something where people feel they feel like royalty a little bit. Jen was sending me to places like the Roof and to Grand America and Little America, places that we had never been able to stay at, places we'd never been able to afford to eat at, and she said, perfect, and those are the places I want to get the certificates for. So places where people really forget about cancer for a few hours or for a day or two. So
tell us kind of the background of that, how you were at a jazz game, is that right?
Yeah, so somebody here in the neighborhood actually dropped off a little envelope with 4 tickets to a jazz game, and we just figured they were Upper Bowl where we'd always sat, so we parked at Crown Burger and bought our dinner and ran down the street. Jen scheduled her chemo around this night for our family at the jazz game, and so we walked in and they said, you're gonna miss the buffet. We're like, buffet? And it turned out that it was kind of a VIP package, so we had buffet and halftime snacks and at the game, Lower Bowl, actually watching the game, not the big screen, and after the game driving home, I'll never forget, Matt just leaned up and he said, hey Mom and Dad, you realize we didn't say the word cancer once for the last 4 hours. And then I just remember Jen leaning over while I was driving and turned back and said, I almost forgot I had cancer for the last 4 hours. And that, to me, that experience has kind of been a symbol of what we want to do for other cancer patients and their families, is whether it's a concert out in Wendover or a spa getaway up in Park City for a weekend, or even just an evening out for a family, an extended family, to just feel normal and act normal, and then in some cases hopefully kind of that royalty feeling, like my kids thought I was stud man that night because I had gotten tickets from a friend that made us feel like VIPs.
Well, and Jen was just incredible, and your entire family's incredible. But you can't do this on your own. I mean, how are you getting all this stuff donated?
Yeah, so that's been, I decided early on, I've got a friend from Chicago, and he lost his wife about 6 months before Jen passed away, and so he and I are kind of financially, all the startup fees, all the expenses, any advertisement things, we haven't taken 1 penny of administrative fees, and we're committed as long as we can to to literally telling someone if they pay $20 towards Just a Break, then not only will 100% of that go to Just a Break, but sometimes even more than that, because a certificate, say at Olive Garden, if I go want to buy $20, I'll ask them if they'll match with 10 or with 20. So often it's 100 and something percent that will go towards the cancer patient. So yeah, volunteers, we would love to have a few more local volunteers who could take 5 restaurants or hotels, and they would be kind of a rep, and then every quarter maybe go solicit and either purchase or see if they would make a donation every month. Same with hotels. So hotels, restaurants, entertainment, ski resorts, movie theaters, anything that a family can't afford and wouldn't do while they're undergoing treatment. So the community is huge. If the community would realize these things aren't going like I've done before, going to an auction to send my daughter to a soccer tournament, but that these donations literally will be put in the hands of a social worker and a chemo nurse who will carefully decide which families need a break from that cloud of cancer. So community, hotels, restaurants, pitching in on an ongoing, some have said, let us give you $200 and then be done with you, and we would rather have 20 every month, because there's always new patients diagnosed and new families that are struggling. So that's been the trick really with the nonprofits, getting the community to realize this is something this isn't a one and done. I'm in this for my lifetime, and I hope beyond my lifetime to honor Jen's legacy.
So what is the response you're seeing from the recipients?
Yeah. So we don't really see the firsthand response. That's something.
Because you're anonymous.
We're staying anonymous.
Okay.
Yeah. So we don't mind, soliciting, letting people know what we're doing. But as soon as we receive donations or cash donations, and we go purchase things to put packages together, we don't ever actually give the packages to the patients. We would like to keep it the way Jen started it, and that is to just deliver these things to the social workers and the chemo nurses at the different cancer facilities, and then let them decide which families are in most financial and emotional need of taking a break. But we have got feedback from social workers and nurses, and not just the ones we're serving, but literally from all over the nation. I've had hospital administrators call and beg me to fly out to their facility and meet with them and try and get Just a Break started in their community in New Orleans, in Chicago. I have been to Las Vegas and up to Boise and met with some hospital administrators there and started some small things happening there. But the feedback we're getting is that it almost can change the whole feeling of the cancer unit. McKay, Nan Fitzgerald said it's changed the whole feeling there, that these nurses are able to give something besides bad news and scans and chemo. They're able to give something that gives people hope and almost a feeling that they've caught a break,
right.
which is something I hadn't really thought of, but it makes me feel really good.
And tell me how Jen changed the feeling of Huntsman. Like you had told me one time she went around to other patients and would help other patients and bring a smile to their face.
Yeah, all the time. I mean, if her treatment was at 10, it was very often they would call and say, can you come at 8? We've got 3 other patients we'd like you to visit with and meet with. And so she was always giving her cell phone out. The HIPAA laws, they try and be really careful about patient information. And Jen gave my cell phone to caregivers all the time, a husband or a spouse of someone who had just been diagnosed. And then she herself was always giving the nurses her phone, and all the time would catch her on the phone with other patients or family members. And down there at Huntsman, they would, even times she was in a wheelchair, they would wheel her over to somebody else's cubicle, and she was constantly being asked to go just bring a level of hope and optimism even during really difficult situations.
That's amazing. She's just absolutely incredible. I mean, everything about what you guys are doing is incredible. And how can people find out more information about what you're doing?
So I feel really good about our website. It's www.justabreak.org. Or if you just put in the words Just a Break without any spaces in any smartphone or Google search, it's the first thing it'll pull up. And so our website explains really what we do and how we do it and how people can help. So there's some places for donations there. And if someone can't make a donation of a hotel or restaurant or entertainment, the cash donations, we're very careful with those. We consider those sacred funds. And 100%, as I mentioned, will go to cancer patients. So we'll go look very carefully at what kind of deals are around town, and even look online for different deals, and then go try to get the best deals we can.
Okay, well, that's great. Well, do you have a minky blanket?
Don't have a minky.
These are the
No.
best. You're gonna love
I've
it.
heard rumors about soft
Yeah.
minkies, so
So thank you so much for having us be here, letting us be here today, and I hope you
sure.
enjoy your blanket. And we look forward to seeing what comes of this.
okay.
And
My guess is my daughter will either
yeah,
snag this
yeah,
or
you better hide it.
we'll take it up to a cancer patient or
Yeah.
something.
Oh yeah. Of course you would.
It's probably allowed, actually.